For the last few years at my company, which is a music company, we record music and release recorded music. We also publish music. We've gotten very involved with startups, and what we do is we find startups that have interesting ideas but that can't get the big record labels to let them use their artists to experiment and to try to prove their concepts. And we give access to new startups to the roster of artists that we have, many of whom have very large followings, and that enables the entrepreneurs to test in a real-world setting whether their ideas are actually good. We have several good artists on our label who are pretty popular and who have had hit records. And it's very hard to get those people to say yes when you're a young entrepreneur with an idea that nobody's tried yet. And yet if you try some of these ideas with an artist that has no fans, there's no way of knowing whether it's going to work or not. So we try to bridge that gap. So a few years ago we met an Israeli startup called Interlude, founded by a very brilliant entrepreneur named Yoni Block. And Yoni came up with a platform for streaming interactive video. And we had an artist who we wanted to make bigger named Andy Grammer. And we commissioned a video using this new technology, and it was the first video using the technology to ever come out in the States. And it actually launched the career of Andy Grammer, and at the same time really helped put Interlude on the map in the US, got them a lot of press, including the Wall Street Journal and TechCrunch and Mashable. And at the end of the day, the video won the MTV Award for Most Innovative Video. So it was a win for everybody. The artist won, the entrepreneur and his startup won, and my company won. Technology keeps changing the music industry. I think everyone's always focused on how technology is going to change the financial aspects of the music business. How do we monetize music? How do people get music? I'm always focused on how is technology going to change the content itself. How is the technology going to change music? How is the technology going to change the type of music that companies are willing to invest in? And that to me is a more interesting question than how is the pie going to be split up. But the whole pie split up question is always the one that everybody's interested in the music business. Unfortunately, you go to any music conference and all anybody wants to talk about is how do we monetize music in technology, how do we keep music from being stolen online, as opposed to saying, we have all this new technology, how is that going to change what we listen to in the future? Not just how we listen to it, but what we listen to. On a different front, technology has changed music very significantly in the last few years because so much popular music is all created by machines. But I think more importantly, as we move into a world of streaming as opposed to purchasing downloads, we may find that a greater premium is placed on pieces of music that people want to listen to again and again and again and again and again, because in a streaming environment, music is monetized per listen as opposed to being monetized once at point of purchase. So if you can find a piece of music that somebody's willing to listen to for many, many years, many times, in a sense that's more valuable, right, than a piece of music that somebody might listen to a few times and never want to listen to again. So I can envision a future where people who pay to make music, record companies for instance, might value an artist who has 100,000 fans who will listen to that piece of music 100 times each, rather than an artist that has 1 million fans who will listen to that piece of music 5 times each. Because in fact, if you just do the math, you find out that you've made more money on 100,000 fans than you did on 1 million fans. That changes the equation quite significantly, actually, because all of a sudden it really opens up opportunities for more niche-oriented music and music that's somewhat deeper than the music that is flourishing in a world of digital downloads and iTunes singles.